Here we are again. We are the Vinyl Community Guncles, ready to review another album. And we are here. I am Robert Fithen, along with Craig from Craig's Vinyl Plethora, Richard from Calvin Wazoo, and ladies and gentlemen, it's okay. We will not be reviewing the band that's on the shirt of Mike from Hub Tunes. We're actually reviewing Nina Simone and her debut album called Little Girl Blue. You needed the money. Oh, no one.
What
is that? What's the difference in your pressings? What do you have, Richard?
His is probably an original.
No, no. I have the 2013.
I have a whole different album.
2013.
I don't know what year mine is.
Your cover was so different. Your covers look really
well.
different.
His doesn't say "Little Girl Blue."
Right, that says it on the
and the
back.
coloring.
The money. Oh.
Well, mine's a 2012, but it also has.
We've had an Andrew Dice Clay moment on the Vinyl Community.
Two of them.
I never thought that would happen.
Well, oh, is that what that was, Andrew? I don't really know anything.
Over here?
I don't really know other than he's not a nice person, from what I understand. But
so, yeah, why would you think he'd be a nice guy?
He's okay. I didn't have a problem with him.
Yeah, mine has 3 bonus tracks on it.
Well,
he will remind you that he's playing a character.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
That's what they all say when they get backed into a corner.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so who's first reviewing Nina Simone?
It's me.
Mike.
Yeah. So I don't own this. I don't own this record. I thought I had it, but I have the one that Robert just showed. The Pastel Blues. Yeah. That's good. She's my favorite jazz singer, female jazz singer. I like her. I love Billie Holiday, but Billie Holiday kind of was just in that frame. It was the same. Nina Simone, her career kind of, she started, and then she really developed, later in her career. I like her later stuff that gets a little weird and avant-garde and kind of, this is a beautiful album. It's, first of all, the star of this album is her piano playing. She is an unbelievable piano player. She does not get enough credit for her piano playing. Her vocals they're solid, but when you put the two together, she really is a talent. This is, you got to be in the mood. This is not throw this on in the car and roll down the windows and go down the highway kind of music. This is not. Well, maybe for you. Well, actually, for most people it isn't, but for Craig it is. Yeah, it's just it's super laid back. It's super mellow. It's martini music that Richard has going right there. It is late night, maybe an early Sunday morning, and they say that Sunday morning jazz stuff. This maybe is it. Mood Indigo opens it up. That's an Ellington song, I believe, and that's my favorite song on the record. I just love it. I love the performance. It's really, really good. Don't Smoke in Bed. It kind of. I like the higher tempo songs. That's just me, But Don't Smoke in Bed. I like her sultry kind of vocals on that. The piano again, really, really good. He Needs Me. Excellent song. Little Girl Blue probably would have been the most popular song on the record. I guess. I don't know. It's 1958. What do I know? I wasn't around in 58 or 59 when this came out. Love Me or Leave Me. You go through the whole thing and it's just, I won't go through the whole thing. I Loves You, Porgy. From Porgy and Bess and Central Park Blues. It's a work, and it's the whole thing is in what am I trying to say? The whole thing is like encompassing. You got to listen to the whole thing, and it's beautiful. It really is beautiful. It's well recorded for 58 or 59 when this came out. I think it's really, really well recorded. It sounds good. They remastered. I listened to the 2021 remaster. I listened online on Apple Music, and it sounded great. Really, really nice. Is it something I'm going to throw on all the time? No. It's just, once in a while kind of thing. But yeah, it's a beautiful record, and again, her piano playing is spectacular. I'll give it. I do like her later stuff much better, but I'll give it 3.5 rainbows. I feel that might be a little low but it's.
Okay, yeah, I didn't think we were gonna. I thought I would be the only one to say that, but yeah, Mike pretty much said it. I compare Nina Simone to the Rolling Stones, of course. In that, if you want to understand why everybody likes the Rolling Stones, you want to understand the genius of the Rolling Stones, you probably don't listen to their debut album. Their debut album, they're just playing some blues covers, and that's about it. The Nina Simone thing, that's kind of what that reminded me of. If you want to understand the real essence of Nina Simone, I'm more familiar with her Mercury stuff. That's why I got out the Pastel Blues album. Also, the album I Put a Spell on You. Those are the Nina Simone that I'm more familiar with. This one, she just seems to be on it's a springboard. It's like she's starting off. She's going to just run through the classics, the ones that everybody does. That Porgy and Bess song, for God's sakes. Love Me or Leave Me, she does this real up-tempo version of that. I actually prefer the Doris Day one. She does a really nice job with Don't Smoke in Bed. That's definitely a highlight. The title track, Little Girl Blue, is a highlight. But why on earth, I don't know if it was her or the arranger, who decided to add Good King Wenceslas in it? It's like, when did this become a Christmas song? That literally has the melody of that when it starts.
Yeah.
It's like a Christmas thing. I don't get what that's doing in there, but other than that, that's a highlight as well. Plain Gold Ring is the one that to me kind of signals here's one of the directions she's going to go later. That sounds different. That doesn't sound just like, here's a jazz album. It's got the piano, it's got the bass player, it's got the singer, oh, Porgy, I love you, here, don't take me away, and the same old whatever. It starts off with Moon Indigo, which I can really appreciate songs where the lyric content does not match the mood of the music. When that works well, it really can bring a special kind of atmosphere out, like, especially when it's sad lyrics but the music is up tempo. You get this feeling like, no, this person's so sad and lonely and nobody even cares because the music is just pounding away and it makes the person sound even sadder. What Is Love from Hathaway is like that. So is There Goes My Baby from the Tremolos. But in the Mood Indigo, I don't think it works. She is singing, I'm a poor fool that's, I'm so blue. I get that blue, that Mood Indigo, and I could just lay down and die. And the whole time the music is like, it's just like, it doesn't really work that well for me. So there's hits and misses on here, but it does sound a lot just like somebody they haven't realized what she can do yet. They haven't realized her full potential yet. And like Mike said, she hasn't gone off and done those avant-garde type, not really avant-garde, but way out kind of her own, her own stuff. That's signature Nina Simone
late
stuff.
60s stuff. Like that album, Somebody to Love, is great. I mean, just when she becomes her own star, and she's so out there and
similar to the Rolling Stones. They become themselves. Exactly. They become the Rolling Stones. They're not really the Rolling Stones quite yet on their first album. It's a bunch of blues. I mean, they do a good job. Like, she does a great job, but it's not really her full potential. And you mentioned that this sounds great for 1959. It was actually recorded in 1957 and then apparently sat around in a shelf for a year and a half because her record label was very off the ball and didn't really promote it or anything. And it was finally released in February of 1959. The thing about the title is it actually goes by both titles. at the same time it was released. It's just that, like that Linda Ronstadt album I was talking about, what is that? Linda Ronstadt with the Stone Ponies, and they don't know if it's called Stone Ponies or the Stone Ponies is the band with Linda. It just is weirdly titled. And this is weirdly titled too. Like, you don't know whether it's called Little Girl Blue or whether it's got that other long title, but it was later released as something completely different.
Yeah, it was re-released in 1959 with a bunch of added tracks.
1959.
Yeah, there was a release then with the.
Well, that's when this was. That's when it was originally released.
I'm talking about an 80s release, but My Baby Just Cares for Me is the kind of thing where she's going to get away from that. I'm not a fan of that at all. That whole like, hey, my baby just cares for me, and the Liberace don't care about no Liz Taylor, and the Liberace smile. Yeah,
No,
hey, where you from, waitress?
Wonderful song.
That stuff. Thankfully, that's terrible. She's a lot better than that. So, like Mike, I'm going to give this 3.5 rainbows, and I thought this would be 5 rainbows all around, and I'd be the bad guy. And I'm going to be the one that called out in the comments, you just don't get it, and all that good, happy horse shit. So Mike pretty much said the same thing. So you can go to him as well in the comments.
I like her.
3.5 rainbows. Yeah, you got to check out her Mercury.
Yeah, even later than that.
Phillips, I guess it's technically it's on Phillips, not Mercury.
Even later, her late '60s stuff. That Nuff Said, I think, is one album. And another one called, I think it's Love Somebody. It's all covers and stuff, but she gets crazy, and her vocals are so damn good, man. And she's just jamming on the piano, and yeah, I love that shit.
Well, I got turned on to Nina Simone by a man I used to that I dated briefly, who was a DJ in. He was a DJ in Taiwan, and told me about Nina Simone and how much he loved Nina Simone. So I started listening. And of course, this was in the days, when you would go to the library and then you could pick up a compilation CD and take it home and burn it, and so for a long time, I didn't have any like releases of Nina Simone. I had a lot of different comps. And it wasn't until much later that I started picking them up on vinyl. My sister gave me these two. This one is on RCA, The Best of Nina Simone. And then she gave me this Colpix recording.
I have that. It's good.
Nina's Choice. I'm so jealous because she told me about a time when she was in this club in DC, a little club with little tables, and she was like right by the stage, right up by the stage to watch her play. And that would have been in the later 60s when Nina was very much into the social justice, social awareness, music, where she wrote some really powerful songs. Mm-hmm. This one is her official debut. You go into Discogs, they have another one listed ahead of it that was released, but this is her official debut. Like Robert was saying, was recorded in '57, and then as jazz as played in an exclusive side street club, but it did have the Little Girl Blue on the back, but there were like variant covers or whatever, and like I said, there was a '59 re-release, and then into '60, where the other tracks started getting added to the recording. So yeah, these were songs that she was playing live in the clubs. And so she went into the studio. This was her set, her club set, pretty much. And so she went in. It's got one original tune, the closing tune, Central Park Blues. it says Wind Gus on here, but I'm looking at another site here that says that she wrote that song. But yeah, a lot of covers, which was typical of jazz musicians at the time, particularly jazz pianists. They would play a lot of Oscar Peterson did that.
Yeah.
You know, even though he was still like super fantastic. The Little Girl Blue, Janis Joplin covered that song and turned it into an amazing song. But her version of it, to me, is still a priceless version. And I like the way she incorporates Good King Wenceslas into the play. She does that a lot if you listen to some of these songs. Because she had a classical music upbringing. And you can hear where sometimes she goes off, like Love Me or Leave Me. There's a section in that song where she's not playing a classical piece, but she is demonstrating her skill in terms of playing classical piano. Her cover of I Loves You Porgy is just beautiful and atmospheric. Yeah, I didn't write down a whole lot of notes about this because Mike is right. This is a beautiful record. And while she came into her own, she was also a very troubled soul. She had a lot of issues. Lot of issues in terms of her mental health, in terms of even in terms of domestic violence, both as being a victim but also being a perpetrator. She was a very troubled soul. David Bowie is credited to some degree with kind of reviving her career later on. By doing that song Word on a Wing, which he did on Station to Station, and he told Nina that she should record that song as well. I love her voice. There were a lot of people influential people who had a lot of very harsh things to say about her. Robert Christgau was one who really trashed Nina. He didn't like her at all, didn't like her music. He even called it amateurish. I did a YouTube short about how much Robert Christgau hated Nina Simone. So you can look that up and check it out because, wow, he did. But I really, really like this record. This particular pressing, though, has got some sound quality issues on it that I got. But overall, I really, really like this record. And I would give it 5 rainbows, except for the fact that there are some absolutely incredible recordings that she did do later. With songs like Mississippi Goddamn and Strange Fruit. And just some Sinnerman.
Sinnerman. I was going to say Sinnerman.
Yeah, Sinnerman.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. But this really is amazing too for her debut. And so I'm going to give it 4.5 rainbows.
I forgot to mention, I've been listening. I've been doing something a little bit different. I mentioned it when we did the Barcades review that I'm starting to listen to music outside, and I listened to this whole album on the St. Louis riverfront. On the Mississippi River.
Oh, that's awesome.
On a beautiful day. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better day. A little bit of wind, a lot of sunshine, 74 degrees. And I was going to listen to part of it. I ended up listening to the whole thing on the riverfront, Mississippi River, right in front of the St. Louis Arch.
Oh, you should have listened to Mississippi Goddamn afterwards.
Well, I listened to the album I was instructed to listen to.
I know, but never mind.
I love walking along the lakefront of Chicago listening to music. I absolutely love
I'm
it.
definitely going to do things like that more often this summer.
Yeah, my favorite thing to do. What?
This is the show tune. The show just hasn't been written yet. Thank you, Mississippi. Goddamn. I mean, it's Nina Simone, so I really don't know, like, even where to begin. First, my love for her is just undying. I think this record. What I love about it is this was the beginning. This was where the first time that she's being introduced into the world. And yes, there's probably greater things moving forward in her career, but I think this is a brilliant start. And like Mike said, like her piano playing and just like she is this classically trained pianist. She has a way of telling a story with her voice that I don't know that anybody else can capture that, especially with songs like I Loves You, Porgy. It's a song that has been sung by hundreds and hundreds of people. It was from the Broadway musical. I don't know that anybody has ever brought such life to it like Nina has. Like she just has this way. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe what she does. Her voice and what.
You know what? She
I mean,
doesn't have a great voice.
no, and I
But
think
yet
that's what's so brilliant about it.
That's exactly what's so brilliant about her, and we see that later in her career. Is she can tell a story. She can. You feel it when she's singing. She doesn't need an incredible voice.
I think for, and maybe a lack of sounding cliche, she has a very seasoned voice. And this is obviously very early in her career. And it was always already at that point. Yes, we get better and better as we move forward.
She was only 24.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I mean, and her last record was 93. So, I mean, she was still touring there towards the end. My biggest like Plain Gold Ring is why I suggested this album. Like that Robert said it perfectly. This is where you see that glimpse, that beginning of what we're gonna see later from Nina Simone. I love My Baby Just Cares for Me. I love Me or Leave Me. Y'all know how I love Doris Day, but I like Nina's better. I like the fact that it's faster and I don't know. I mean, I love my Doris. Don't get me wrong, but what else is I gonna say? Crap. I always lose my train of thought.
You love Doris.
I love Doris, but we're not talking about Doris. I love Nina. She's just I like the way Mood Indigo is.
Yeah, I do too.
I like the way that Annie Lennox does a really good version of it as well.
Really?
Yeah, she did a classical album. She does several.
Oh, I remember when she did
it. Yeah, it's
Wasn't
over
pretty.
there somewhere. I like it. Yeah, Plain Gold Ring though. That it possibly maybe is that my favorite. I don't know. I like the weird ones. Like I love her version of Cotton Eye Joe, and of course, Black is the color of my true love's hair. And I mean, she just has so many brilliant records. So I'm just going to shut up. Y'all said enough for me. That's why I like to be at the end of these, because I don't really have to do much because you've already said it. 4.5 Rainbows for me. Yeah, I wanted to have a discussion about Nina, because she needs to be discussed. So not that people need to learn of her. I mean, if you don't know who Nina Simone is, then maybe you might need to go to therapy or see somebody.
Or just buy a record.
Yeah,
or stream it. Stream Pastel.
You could stream that too, but
Spell on you.
Or I put a spell on you.
Yeah,
that's a good one too. I need more. I don't have enough Nina on vinyl, but
yeah, I don't either.
No, I definitely need more. So let me
see. At least around here, I don't see her records.
I don't either.
I mean, I don't see. I see other jazz stuff. Being at a record store all the time. But jazz vocalists, you always see like Ella Fitzgerald and
Billie Holiday.
Occasionally Billie Holiday. You don't see a lot of Billie Holiday, but you definitely see more Billie Holiday than you do Nina Simone.
She, like I said, she was a very troubled person, and her emotional issues alienated her from a lot of people in the business. And there were also a lot of people who didn't like how upfront she was about civil rights issues.
And wasn't she also a single mother at like
very young
years old? I mean, she
and she quite possibly may have been an abusive mother. So
yeah, by the time this was recorded, I think she was the kid was probably 10 years old.
Right.
She had a child
I think she was probably undiagnosed with some sort of mental with a mental issue for a long time, and because she was
I think
very erratic.
I read somewhere that she was diagnosed. I mean, it was some kind of common bipolar or something like that. But yeah,
But that was much later in her career.
Right. Yeah, that was. Yeah, they wouldn't even know what that was in '59.
Yeah, they didn't know.
There's a really good
diagnose a jazz singer. Just get out there and perform, make you some money, type of thing.
There's a really good documentary.
There is. I forget the name.
And I watched it, and let me try and look it up here.
I saw it too, and it's really, isn't it called? Isn't it just called Nina?
What Happened, Miss Simone?
It's called Nina, right?
It's called What Happened, Miss Simone.
Yeah, that's
from
it.
2015.
I haven't seen that. I need to.
Yeah, it's a really good documentary, and it talks about her mental illness and the abuse and. Yeah.
There was a movie too, but Zoe, whatever her name, played her, and I was just couldn't see her as Nina Simone, so I never tried to watch it. But
like a biopic kind of thing.
Yeah, one of those movies. It's
Zoe Kravitz.
No, not Zoe Kravitz, because it's
Zoe Deschanel.
No, it's the one that just won an Oscar.
The Zoe that was in Ms. 45.
Zoe Saldana.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure that's who it was. Let me make sure.
Yeah, watch that documentary. It's fantastic. And I think the family or whoever is still alive, her kid might still be alive, but probably pretty old, was involved in it.
Yeah,
it's on Netflix.
Saldana.
You can find it on Netflix.
Highly recommended.
Yeah, she's the one that just won the Oscar for Emilia Perez or whatever that movie's called.
Zoe Tamarals?
No, Zoe Saldana. She was also in the Galaxy movies too. She was the green chick. Yeah, she doesn't look anything like Nina Simone, so I just didn't watch it because I'm like, I don't know if I could believe it. Maybe she did a great job. I don't know. I've never seen it, but yeah, that was from like.
Or just listen to her albums. They tell the story.
Just listen to her
albums.
Yeah,
you can just listen.
2016.
So what are we listening to next?
You know what else?
Yes, Mike knows that one.
You know what else you can do is just YouTube videos of her like on
the
Mike Douglas show and like all these late night TV shows of her performances. Awesome stuff, man. Yeah, just do
the
that.
Donnie and Marie hour, which she was on that one time.
Yeah, she was. Okay, I'm up next. So Robert, in one of his 1992, what year are you doing? 92 was it?
Yeah, 91 then 92.
92.
Currently working on 83.
Okay, you mentioned a band, which I had already picked this record out, and this is not from 93, but it's the follow. I think it's the follow-up to the one you mentioned, and I was never going to do this band because I don't know. I don't know why I wasn't going to do it, but I'm doing it. And this is the Jayhawks, Sound of Lies. This, I believe, is the follow-up to Hollywood Town Hall that Robert reviewed.
Yeah, that would be, because that was 92.
What is it again? I'm sorry.
It's the
Jayhawks, Sound of Lies.
Jayhawks.
And it's from 93?
Sound of Lies.
No, I think it's from 97.
I don't think I've ever heard a Jayhawks song, so.
Well, Robert said he wanted to hear more Jayhawks. He's about to.
That cover makes me think of that movie
seen that cover.
Almost Famous.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. So that's it. Jayhawk's Sound of Lies.
All right, so we'll be reviewing the Jayhawks coming up. We'll be giving you our tops and bottoms for the year 1972 next. I mean, that's going to be quite the video because there was all kinds of great music in 1972, and I'm sure there were some duds as well. So stick around for that. We are the Vinyl Community Guncles. I'm Robert Fithen, along with
Richard at Calvin Wazoo.
Oh wait, I want to do that. Craig at Vinyl's Plethora or whatever.
Mike at Hub Tunes.
hopefully we'll talk to you again soon, and you'll watch and you'll enjoy it, and you'll be like, "Oh, I'm going to comment on that."
Yeah,
I think
That's what
I'm
we
going
need,
to twist their
comments.
words around on that one. I know exactly
I
what I'm.
dare you to comment.